to be irreplaceable, one must always be unique.
It is a season of rain, but we wouldn't allow the weather to spoil our fun. Rain or shine, our team is always prepared to put a smile on your face, and this week is no different. From Texila American University, I am Lorene Ward, welcoming you to the final episode of Homestretch Magazine for the month of June.
Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time. Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good time.
For many of us, there is always that burning passion inside of something we always want to do or become. But not many of us grab hold of the opportunity to make it a reality, or more so, ignite that passion within. But this young man has done well for himself. Let's meet Telescope, Talent of the Week.
Delon Tapin, it's a pleasure having you as this week's talent profile. Welcome back to Guyana.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
are an artist.
Yes, I am.
You are a singer, a writer, and a singer.
That is correct.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Perseverance, Maikoni. I moved to, in a nutshell, grew up in Cottage, Perseverance, now or never. That's my hometown as a young man growing up. Then moved to the city when I was 13 or 14, spent a couple of years with my aunt in the city, and then migrated to Canada with my parents them. And from there, I'd say that's how I get into music and started doing a lot of writing and everything like that.
You were in the military.
Yes.
And that is actually what prompted you to start writing.
Yes, I spent 9 years in the Canadian military, and I bury a few of my friends them coming back from Afghanistan and things. So it kind of inspired me in a different way to propel differently, because I had to empty my cup somehow.
Them say money can't buy no love. If you're looking for true love, money can't buy your life unless from now you start living it right.
When I went to Canada and was in the military, I remember a friend of mine, Denver from Jamaica, he said to me, why don't you stop saying all this Delon on the mic and see and sing something properly, write something up. So I kind of take it as a personal criticism, but not personal as in he's trying to put me down in a way. So the next time he came by, I started to sing a song and I didn't hear he say anything. And then I keep singing the same song. Then he said to me, man, how come you're always singing the same song? Sing something else now. So kind of from there, he kind of inspired me to just keep writing. And then there was so much happening at the time as well, too. So I never stop. I just keep going. To this day, I'm working on my 7th album right now, but I only produced 3 so far.
How would you describe your music?
Well, my music is more, I would say, like a storytelling, but more as if you're sitting having a conversation with someone. I'm just like reasoning. It's like an advising session. And for some, it's a food for their soul.
I'm telling you, young man, it's time for you to get your spiritual life in gear. You're talking about my life. There is nothing more precious on earth than my life. I have to cherish it till I go back to the dust.
How would you say the public is receiving your music? Is it a positive vibe?
Yes, quite positive, because I was in Linden. We shot my life video in Linden, and it was quite interesting at the bus park and going through the neighborhood, and everyone was kind of very receptive to everything that we're doing, and can't wait for the video to come out. They want to see it.
I like the way you said telescope, so I'm going to telescope the way you did it. But that's your stage name. How did you come up with it?
When I was in Canada, I started a charitable organization called Telescope Humanity Charity. It was basically for the young generation, helping young people, running some after-school programs, doing music, dance, these classes I was running within the corporation. So when I started to do music, and what I was saying, when they asked me, well, what is your stage name? I said, my stage name is Delon, because that's my name, you know, I'm Delon. They're like, nah, Delon don't sound too right with that. They're like, nah, man, you're a telescope. You just like a telescope. Listen to what you're saying. And that's what they lay on me, telescope. So I say, you know what, it's what it is. If that's what they want, I just roll with it.
So how do you balance your life? You said you're a family man,
Yes.
You're into music, you're traveling around. How do you balance your life?
It's very tough sometimes, but you know what? You are what you are, right? And you cannot try to be someone else. And most of the times it's the same question I get asked from interviewers who interviewed me before. How do you do this? Because I'm writing a book. It's called In This World But Not of This World, Volume 1 of 3. So I'm going to produce Volume 1, publish Volume 1 very shortly. So doing all of this is like, I don't utilize my spare time. I don't waste my spare time. I utilize my spare time. But I find time. You have to find time. If you can find time to get up in the morning and go to someone else's passion, why can't you find time for your own passion? And I find that's what most of us is lack of today. We don't find that time for ourselves. When it comes to our time and our passion to move ahead in life, we always find an excuse for it. But if it's to go to work for our next man's passion, we can never, all we think about is, yes, I want that money, so I have to go. So look at yourself as a dollar sign as well as a product. So that's how I look at myself as an artist, as a product. And I have to push my product.
Well, Mr. Tappan, Telescope, however you want me to address you, it was certainly an honor having you this week and our talent profile for this week as well. And
Thank you.
Wish you all the best in your endeavor. And I'm actually will be sitting in anticipation to hear more from you when you return to Guyana and
No
even
problem.
when you travel.
Thank you for your time.
It's always encouraging to see someone living their dream, especially someone who is as aspiring as Delon Tappan. Every year in the month of June, more than 120 countries celebrate World Music Day, or as the French would say, Fête de la Musique. This year, Guyana was a part of the celebration.
Every year in the month of June, Fête de la Musique, also known as Music Day or World Music Day, is celebrated. The concept of an all-day musical celebration was the brainchild of the French Minister of Culture, Jacques Lang. The year 1982 saw the study of the cultural habits of the French. It found that 5 million people, 1 child out of every 2, played a musical instrument. It first occurred in 1982 in Paris as the Fête de la Musique, bringing people out in the streets to celebrate music. The festival later became popular and is now celebrated in 128 countries around the world. For the first time, Fête de la Musique was held in Guyana.
Tonight we're happy to present to you the Fête de la Musique. We have spoken to artists all over the Georgetown that we could find who will be willing to volunteer tonight to entertain you. And the spirit of the Fête de la Musique is that you can come, usually there is an open stage, and you can come and play music.
The event was held at the Umaniana. It featured several musicians such as Roy Stewart on the saxophone. Music teacher Hanani Ben Louis also impressed the audience with his musical rendition on the steel pan. Members of the audience were also treated to songs by Atasia and the guitar of Juan Diego Gonzalez.
My trust is tarnished, so don't expect to be getting none. See, my entourage is big, my circles keep small. Too many ships is sunk in my life, so I'm rethinking on relations or economics.
But the highlight of the evening was the performance by Gavin Mendonça.
Remember, it's an annual observance, so if you missed it this year, there is always next year.
Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good, good time. Small days is still on my mind. Small days is a good, good time.
Conservation is always the key. Making the most of what we have is exactly what this next feature is all about. For those small entrepreneurs in the logging industry, you may want to pay attention to this.
Chainsaw milling is often done on a large-scale basis when it comes to converting logs to lumber in Guyana. Most of it is done free-handed, which means the lumber doesn't always have a consistent thickness throughout, and there is lots of wastage. The Forestry Training Center Incorporated has a special course designed to combat this type of milling that would allow the chainsaw operator to get more and better quality of lumber from the logs. Wilfred Jarvis, FTCI's chainsaw instructor, will demonstrate how this is accomplished.
We are going to convert this log into planks and boards. But before we get into that, we have our chainsaw that we're going to use. Here we have MS390. We normally use it to do cross cutting. There's our Alaskan frame that we do milling with. This is a 70, which we take off 3-phase on freehand technique. And this is my 66 that I would mount on this frame to get my accurate and quality boards.
After cross-cutting and taking the sides of the log off, the instructor realized that he can get a board from the slabs, so it's time to set up the mill.
We are going to attach this engine to this frame to do the resaw. So we start by pushing this in here. Now remember we got a wheel nose. So we have to adjust the frame to avoid putting pressure on the wheel nose. Like that. So we get the wheel here now. And then we still have a little space at the back here because of the spikes. So it's enough to give the exhaust space to exit the fumes. We are going to set to 1 inch. This is the graduation from 0 to 12, and it's here, so you could see from 0 to 12. So to set it, we'd have to adjust here. this is the recovery from the slab, or from the waste. It's a good board, it's 1 inch, and we could get something from here, back so, as well as we could get something here, back this way.
Now it's time to get back and finish the log. As the last slab is being cut, we can notice how straight the saw is running when using the mill, comparing to if someone was doing it freehand. With this piece of equipment, the chainsaw operator can indeed get better quality lumber, which would earn him or her more revenue in return.
So you can see now that we can make progress with the chainsaw on the frame. The produce is very smooth, sometimes better than the mill, than the sawmill. Once you know to set the frame, you can get excellent production from this type of milling.
Our natural habitat wouldn't be there if we continue down a path of destroying what we have. So hence the need to talk about conservation. You think you know what life on a ranch is like, but have you ever seen a Guyanese ranch or visited one? Well, you're just in time. Nerman is about to give us an exclusive tour of Wyken Ranch.
So today we're on our way to Wyken Ranch, and it's my first time visiting our ranch, ever. And honestly, I don't know what to expect.
Hi.
Victor, how are you doing?
Good, good, good.
All right. So this is I have to tell you, this is my first time on a ranch. Anyway, in this area, this is my first time visiting.
Aye.
And I know a lot of people, especially people living on the coast, they have no idea what ranch life is like, especially and what living in this particular region is like as well.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is life like on a ranch?
Well,
Like in a general sense.
in a general sense, I mean, it's very isolated. We have marginal phone service. We're right at the edge of Digicel. We're past GT&T. Right? We get Brazil easy because they have a tower across from us. This ranch borders Brazil. Yeah. In the dry season, you could literally walk across into Brazil.
All right.
On many points along the river. Right. We do livestock as well as vegetables and tree crops. So on a daily basis, we will be tending after the vegetables, feeding the chickens, the pigs, and daily we would herd the cattle out from the corral, because of rustling, we keep all the cows inside in the corral at night.
So it's basically like when people would watch those Western movies, it's
basically like that.
Exactly
Basically like that.
Even the environment is similar to the West.
Yeah, except we have a bit more trees than they have.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
But of course, you can't visit a ranch and not have a taste of the ranch cuisine.
This here is what we call shibe.
Shibe.
Yeah.
What's this for?
It's farine. We add sugar and it's water. It's like a cereal. You drink it. You drink the water. You know, you beat it up, and you drink it. Normally, when people go to the ranches and the farms and stuff like that, the host would normally offer them this. You know, they're beginning to cool down or whatever.
Oh, really? So
yeah. So you want to taste some?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
You just hold it, beat it up, and just you don't have to eat it for you. Just like drink the water.
So drink the water.
Yes, it's quite refreshing.
All right, let's give it a try. This is the first time I'm trying this. So it's really tasty, actually.
Yeah. Pick up a spoon. Yes.
And then just. I did not expect this. So this is a staple around here?
Yes, that is. Yes, it is.
All right.
We eat this with our tasso. We would roast tasso and we would eat it with this.
Okay.
Or we would make pasok with the farine. Actually, we're going to show you just now how we do the pasok. All right, but this is the dried beef tasso. It's salted and dried in the sun, and then we roast it. Roast it first before we grind it. We mix it with the farine, and then you could walk with it, and it stays in order for it stays good then for a long time. And then when you want to use it now, you could either eat it like that, or you could fry it up with some onions, and nice stuff, and eat it like that. Yeah, it comes like ground up,
Now that was absolutely delicious. It's about time for us to leave, but before we go, how about some target practice?
In video games, I usually play Archer. That's the thing. In video games, I usually play Archer. Right? That sucked so much.
Okay, that one doesn't count. Let's go again. Now that's more like it.
Good. All right, third time's the charm, as they say, right?
You gotta run.
Yeah. Hold on to that.
Oh man, I have to tell you, nothing beats a life on the ranch.
The best part of the ranch experience is the way the hosts always welcome visitors. So if you're ever in the Rupununi area, take the time to visit a ranch. The experience is worth it. Let's continue this Guyanese voyage on another edition next Sunday at 15:30. And do catch the rebroadcast on Tuesday at 19:30. Also remember to like our Homestretch Magazine Facebook page, leave your reviews about the program, and tell us what you would like to see on this show. I am Lorene Ward. Be happy and keep smiling.